Today, guys, we're gonna have a look at the Eye of the Deep boss that we have in the Otherworld event in Season 3. Currently, I am on a test server, so I have early access to check out the boss. I do think he is pretty damn OP. But we're gonna get to that in just a second. This video is brought to you by Dragonheir Silent God, so I just want to say a big thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys are new around here, if you haven't tried Dragonheir Silent God just yet, you can do so by clicking the link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. Fight against the Eye of the Deep, ladies and gentlemen. This boss is gonna give us a hell of a fight. It does look pretty cool. In Season 2, we had the Mecha Torque. Now, because I am currently on the test server, we do not have the Alliance bonuses unlocked. And of course, we do not have the bonuses that we are getting from here, the Mecha Torque. Now, the boss from Season 2, supposed to kind of like come in here and give us a hand of help. We will have all of this available on the actual servers. But because this is a test build, we don't have all that. So how you may notice, we are lacking all of these extra stats that are greatly increasing our damage, overall our performance. If we're quickly going to check the boss, I clicked on save from mistake on a battle before, guys, and I lost that team, so I had to rebuild a different one. So difficulty will be increased when the boss reaches 50% HP or less. That happens to every single boss in the Otherworld event. If we are quickly going to check the skills, he has quite a few of them. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he has a 30 seconds cycle, so he's gonna go on for quite a bit. If you have enough skill haste on most of your characters, you should be able to use the ultimate twice. So he has the very first passive, gains 1 stack of undispellable solidity upon taking skill damage. Removes a stack of solidity when the monster casts a skill. So he's constantly going to gain a damage reduction that gives him 50% less damage. But he will kind of like use the stack at the same time. This passive, when dealing damage, inflicts 1 stack of undispellable rust poison. When the rust poison on any target reaches 20 stacks, dispels all rust poisons from them and deals necrotic damage to them. Every time this effect is triggered, the subsequent trigger damage will increase by 25%, which is pretty nutty. You have the boss, of course, being immune to all of the control effects, control ultimate energy effects as well, and the very first skill deals necrotic damage 3 times to all enemies. Then deals necrotic damage to all enemies with a chance of putting defense penalty on all of them. Pretty nasty. Then deals necrotic damage to enemies twice. Each time has a 100% chance of dispelling a buff from them. If your team has no buffs after, he will put a buff prohibition on them, which again is nasty. Then you have the next skill. Releases Seed of Rust Poisons to all enemies by centering them, dealing necrotic damage and inflicting healing reduction and shield prohibition for 10 seconds. Again, lots of debuffs. You definitely need to have champions in here that can cleanse. Heroes that can cleanse, you know. And the ultimate charges up briefly and deals necrotic damage 4 times to all enemies. When hitting enemies without buffs, reduces their ultimate energy by 30%. Enters fragility for 5 seconds at the same time. That just doesn't sound good at all. The fragility thing is actually good because that means that he should be having increased damage, you know. So this is what we're running, guys. We're gonna run a wild team because we are in Season 3. Of course, we have fire and radiance as elemental affinities. I've tried rally team. For whatever reason, it seems to be bugged and my characters are just not gaining rally no matter when I'm using it. So it's super weird. The boss is definitely bugged at the moment, even the damage that we're dealing on. But I just kind of like wanted to showcase you the boss, to see the skills, to understand what exactly we're working with, to kind of like be able to prepare ahead of time. We still have probably on our server at least 4 or 5 days till we unlock the boss. So in terms of artifacts, gear sets, that's what we're running on all of them. The boss doesn't seem to deal insane damage, so I would assume an Emperor set would be pretty nice on the team here. I do have a couple of characters that can cleanse with their skill, right? So she can actually dispel debuffs as well with the ultimate skill. And of course, we have Rose that can pretty much do the same. Now, we could do this on auto or manual. I'm gonna start it on I'm going to start it on manual, guys. Then we're going to go on auto. So we do need to have some buffs on the team if we want to put in a serious work. It's pretty hard to kind of like find a team that will give you the buffs and everything else that you kind of like need, to be honest. So I'm supposed to kind of like start with starting there with Casper, but we're going to be able to rotate that in just a second. So I'm going to stop their skills again. I'm going to stop it on rows 2 for a little while. So right now we're going to drop a lot of ultimate energy. The boss will do a lot of damage on us if we don't put a decreased attack, most probably, because we don't really have a lot of shield or anything like that. So we just want to make sure we're going to be fine. You see, we drop the ultimate energy. It's going to be hard to counter everything that this boss does. I don't think it's going to be impossible, of course, but I think it's going to be pretty damn hard to do it, you know? So let's put Casper in there. I haven't even had a chance to see the damage. But so far, 1 minute in, we are at 1 million damage. Usually, a team like this will actually really put in some serious numbers, you know? And I feel like the only team that can really work well versus this boss at the moment is Poisons, because Poisons, they don't have a cap on the damage, right? Poisons, they do damage based on the HP, so it's going to be a bit different. And recharge speed penalty does not work on the boss, guys. I'm not even seeing the damage. I don't know if you guys see I'm not seeing the numbers from Casper when he's using the ultimate. It's like he's hitting the water and nothing else, you know? So I'm sure this is a very old build on the test server, guys. It's actually probably 1 month to 2 months old. So I'm not expecting it to be perfect. You know, I'm definitely convinced that it has some bugs. We did not have this updated in a long time. But yeah, Casper's damage is not even going on the boss by the looks of it. He is dealing damage, but the numbers are just not popping on the screen, which is pretty weird, right? My Psychic Core for Fire Radiance is maxed on everything. Damage reduction, maximum damage, resistance, pretty much everything, you know? I feel like if we are able to bring in a couple of cleansers or a cleanser and a block debuffs, it could work. So we can basically put a cleanse on towards the end, an Asilia. There are not many characters that can fully cleanse your entire team, so that's gonna be hard. And bringing in a block debuffs character like Catherine as a healer could work. Like that, we're gonna have buffs on right before the boss is using the ultimate, and like this, we're not gonna get our ultimate energy reduced. We're gonna be able to deal more damage. Now, even when the boss enters that phase of fragile, right after he's using the ultimate skill, he's quickly gaining a stack of damage reduction. So you have such a short window to actually put in the damage, and that's mainly another thing to do with the lag of the skills and the timing. You see, you have this. You have basically a few seconds to deal damage, 2-3 seconds to really exploit that fragile part of the boss, you know. But hey, a team like this on any other boss in the game by now would deal maximum damage that you need for whatever. So seeing only 4.3 million damage, 100% the boss is too overtuned. And I haven't been able to really keep up the step with the creator chat, guys, but I think they mentioned that they confirmed they will fix this issue by the time he's going to be available in game, you know. The boss does look pretty damn cool, though. I really love the look on the boss. He looks pretty badass. I cannot wait to be able to have the Mecha Torque on our side too. Hopefully we're gonna unlock all that on the server, because that's a massive problem right now for most of the servers. The boss is starting to deal quite a bit of damage, but he's constantly pinching all of my ultimate energy, which makes it pretty hard to use the ultimate skills with most of the characters. I have a feeling that we might actually die before the end. The only good thing about this boss is that he's not stacking increased damage on himself, you know. So that means that he's not gonna start dealing more damage on us the longer we are in the fight. So I've seen some very crazy numbers dealt on this boss, but I'm pretty convinced they're all with poison teams. Because if no, it just doesn't make that much sense. Maybe there are a couple of different teams that are able to scale pretty well, but I don't think I don't think Wild, Ice Blast, Corrosion, none of these teams actually do perform well at all, you know? Like, they're super weak. Super, super weak. I'm surprised that we don't have Casper as the leading damage dealer out of the wild characters, considering that uh, you have 2 wild characters that should be going after him to trigger his passive, you know? Unless they all got their ultimate energy messed up. Look at that, 6 minutes in and we have only 6.5 million damage, guys. That's pretty crazy. So we're dispelling the debuffs. Casper going in. I wish I could see his damage, but we're not seeing the numbers. At least not his numbers. The rest of them are fine. Might be just like a visual bug. So where are we? 40% with Tonanen, 27 with Casper. Average with 22. Jesus. You two guys are slacking there. You two are slacking there. So where are we? 7.1 million damage. 7.1. And we have 6 minutes into the run. That's so crazy. And you need like what, 100 plus million damage to get this done. Yeah, it's definitely going to get fixed, guys. I just wanted to kind of like let you know that as well. But the main thing was to showcase the boss, have a look at the skills, understand what we need in order to prepare. So I feel like even Vika is going to be massive versus this boss because he can dispel 2 debuffs. Block debuffs characters can be very nice, but keep in mind, I think this is the skill that removes buffs from us. Yeah, deals necrotic damage to all enemies twice. So even if you have 2 buffs on, he will dispel two buffs from you. So it's gonna be pretty hard to stack a lot of buffs on our characters here. If we're putting in like shields or buffs from the passives, they don't count as actual buffs. So keep that in mind as well. So you need to have increased defense. You need to have increased attack. You need to have block debuffs. You need to have increased attack speed. This type of buffs in order to basically have them count, especially towards the ultimate skill. But again, he's not killing us, which is definitely a good thing. It's just the damage is really weak sauce at the moment, you know. Trying to think what other clan. I mean, yeah, if you have other big boy cleansers from the ice element, like if you have an Elcibri, she's gonna be nice in here. If you have Faesa, it's gonna be nice for the block buffs, you know, and more buffs on the team plus the damage reduction. That character actually brings in quite a few things. How I mentioned the rally heroes, what a bit weird, you know, like. I'm sure that's another sort of issue that probably it is on the test server, but they were not gaining rally from my Lorantil, and they were not gaining the increased attack either, even though I had no block buffs on them. So that was super weird to see that was happening. But look at that, we are now reaching 10 million damage in 8 minutes. So yeah, definitely some sort of an issue. But the boss looks pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think it's gonna be a pretty good challenge for some people. I'm quickly going to show you as well what sort of damage was dealt on him, and I'm 100% positive that is poison damage, not corrosion, poison. And I'm talking about Lotair and all the rest of the big boy characters, you know. So this is a lot of score right here. Probably it's not just one team in here, probably multiple, but I'm pretty convinced they're all based on poisons, you know, poison detonation, constantly stacked poisons. I don't think the derivative damage will really work that well, but I'm sure that each one of these persons used poison as the main damage team. I don't think we can see that, unfortunately, but I would be really curious to see the teams, you know. But that is the new Otherworld boss for Season 3, guys. I do want to kind of like quickly check a couple of different characters that could potentially do a cleanse or something, you know. So we need characters that will give you a lot of buffs. So debuff block, that's what we have right here. Then what else we have available? Mithrasi, again, very solid. You do have Asilia that can actually put that too. She doesn't just cleanses, she puts debuff immunity too. So probably Asilia might be the best the best support character for these guys. We have, of course, Catherine. Gladros, only when you have shield, so it's a bit different. What does she do? Debuff immunity on all of your team, which is nice. So this is the character from the Feymander, if I'm not mistaken, in Season 3. So we have a few characters that can do that. I don't think I can check all of the cleansers if I'm... Okay, buff dispelling. Yeah, we can. Dispel debuff. So we have all these characters that can do it. Rheita is going to be nice. She's giving you defense up, so that's a buff to control the ultimate energy on the boss. Nathaniel can be nice too because of the battle skill, and he gives you defense up. So again, that's going to help you with the ultimate energy control. Then you have Gulende that can do it, but you're not getting buffs from there. So you're kind of like looking at characters that will give you buffs as well, you know. He's not really going to be that good with what he does. Is mainly from the passive. Vika, probably the best epic for it, no questions asked, you know. So you will have a few options. You will require a lot of support as well, just to make sure you're relevant. You have healers, cleansers, tanks are not necessarily, because they are getting hit, all of them, you know. They're all AoE attacks from the boss, so you don't need a specific tank to get the job done. But that was all for the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What sort of teams are you guys preparing for it? Thanks again to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys want to get involved, head over to the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment, or scan the QR code you see on the screen. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.